I know it's hard when you've got to learn a new software, but here's how I want you kind of reapproach this. Let's think about it like a crossword puzzle. We've all done crosswords puzzle, and you look at them for the first time and nothing seems to make sense. It's literally a jumble of letters. But the more you start looking at it and the more closely you start familiarizing yourself with all of the letters, words start to emerge. So now let's think about the first time you learned to drive or to learn email or whatever, or maybe you switched from Outlook to Google or something. At first, everything is a jumble of letters. Everything is unfamiliar, right? But nowadays, if you think about it, when you get into any car, you're familiar with how it operates. It's almost like second nature. You don't need to really do much mental conversion to get there. You see a speedometer, you see where the gas is, you know where the turn signals are, right? There's all these kind of standards put in place. And oftentimes software is built the same way. Certain times where the more user-friendly a software is the more intuitive it is, right? So oftentimes what software developers will do, will put menus on the left side or along the top or both, right? Very rarely will you see the menu on the right side. Something to think about, and here's the idea. Going back to that crossword concept. If you just sit there and stare at something and analyze it for long enough, words emerge. And when you're forced to change software or whatever, your business is growing, you're choosing to scale, and it means going from MailChimp to ActiveCampaign or from Wix to WordPress or whatever it is, right? Now you're presented with a new interface, a new software, a new technology that you've got to get used to. But for a lot of us, that feels frustrating and scary, and it, sometimes it causes anxiety. I totally get it. But here's my one big tip on how to get over that and through that. Treat it like a crossword puzzle. Spend real time just reading through the menu, discovering where each of the new features are. Try to make mental relationships between what you're used to knowing and what's coming up now. Like perhaps in MailChimp, you went to this certain menu item to create a campaign. Well, in ActiveCampaign, you might go to a different menu item and have a different navigation to do the same thing. But if you can start making those mental connections, this is how I did it before, and this is how I'm going to do it now, it helps your brain relax a little bit, and it helps you create those neural pathways in order to become familiar with it. And I promise you, give it a little time, and that new software is going to start to feel familiar. And then when it starts to feel familiar, your anxiety goes away and your productivity comes in. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments if that resonates with you, if it made sense to you, and let's chat about it.